Don't expect to regulate your nervous system if you don't have a regular breathing practice. Let's talk about this. If you find that your nervous system is continually in states of fight, flight, freeze, you feel anxious often, one of the first things that tends to get restricted is your breathing. And so then often we react to that, to the restriction of the breathing. We can get stuck in this ongoing cycle of something triggers us to go into a fight, flight, freeze state based on some sort of past experience causing overwhelming sensations in the body. Internally, the body tenses up, and then you feel that shortness of breath, which is stressful, and then on that cycle goes. We want to break that cycle, and we can do that through starting to become aware of our breathing and seeing how when we go through a conscious process of working with our breathing, we can then start to acclimatize to what's happening with the body, relaxing in the presence of what's happening because we're no longer disconnected with that experience, and then start to feel more safe in your body. And then naturally, the nervous system can start to regulate.
Yeah, I think the main thing to be aware of is just to become aware of what's happening and not thinking about that the breath is now wrong and this is not good and what's happening, it's bad. It's just the reaction the nervous system has learned over the past years. And this is a good way and a good point to start off. So instead of thinking I have to fix something now, it's just like, oh, this is what's happening. And how can I be supportive? So something like, how can I be at service to regulate my nervous system right now? This is maybe the right mindset to go into practices like this.
It's so common that when we do feel all of this tension and overwhelm in the body, that we then want to find some sort of quick fix to make it feel better. And it's also common that breath work gets used as a cure-all for all of these things. And we're looking at it in a different way. Rather than trying to fix anything based on the underlying assumption that it's broken, we're looking at the breathing as an indicator of what's happening and really our relationship with what's happening. One of the most common things that dysregulate us, I find, is that we have an experience, whether that being a sensation, a thought, an emotion, or all of them, all tangled up together. And then we have our relationship with that experience. And often what's going on is that the relationship with even feeling what's happening as a result of those thoughts and emotions and sensations that are there, feeling them is a process. We need to build safety in even like being present in the experience. And a lot of people get stuck with that because they're trying to fix things. They're trying to be over there when what we actually need to do is connect back to the here and now, into the body, in the here and now, and acclimatize to that. And then we go through generally a healing process of acceptance and allowance to be here rather than trying to always be in the future. And it can be uncomfortable initially, but as you start to move through that, we start to reconnect with more and more lightness as we clear that density from the past. And having our breath as a focus, I find, is a really helpful thing because our mind can always go to the past, go to the future, go anywhere but the present. And we try and understand what's happening and find and feed our intellect to then feel more at ease with, oh, now I know what's happening, so I can be at peace with that. But we don't actually face what is happening. We don't learn that skill of working with our body and consciously engaging with our body at the level of the nervous system, learning about all the things that are going on and realizing that we can actually regulate our state in anything by starting to master our breath. And that's both something that we do have control over and something that we're participating in this wonderful mystery of the body as well.
Yeah, and maybe a small distinction I often see, and it's worthwhile to talk about it. It's not about calming down. It's about really connecting and allowing the stuck energy you feel in this moment to be processed. Because calming down is also just a thought, and you just start to suppress. We are doing the different thing. We really connect, and then we use the breath to really telling the nervous system everything is okay, just allow it to flow. And this is maybe a small thing from the outside, but when you go into a breathing practice, it's a totally different approach. Because often calming down is maybe the main thing that things got stuck in the first place.
We're told to calm down and then try and force that program upon ourselves. And again, it's trying to force that state to be somewhere else other than where we are, to be someone else other than who we are. Yeah, we're continuing to focus on the connection of where we are and who we are, and meeting that really with an act of self-love, a love for this vessel that we inhabit. So with those distinctions in mind, that can then lead us into how do we start to do this? So I thought it would be helpful to go through and just have a bit of an exploration into a practice. And so we'll go through a practice for a couple of minutes to get you started in this process of how we can work with the breath in a more embodied way to then bring you back into the present moment, to start to feel more safety in connecting with your body, and naturally to then start to regulate the nervous system. So just notice your breathing now. Notice the inhale. Notice you can hold at the top a little if you like. And then notice the exhale. And notice you can hold at the bottom a little as well. What we're going to do with this practice is not tell you how to breathe, but we're going to just gently place the intent to slow down your exhale. Slowing down the exhale has been widely linked with supporting the nervous system to move into a more parasympathetic state. It's basically your breath telling your brain and your nervous system that there is no immediate threat right now. Sometimes our mind can create perceived threats, and then when we get caught in that perceived loop, then the body then reacts and becomes dysregulated. We're bringing our focus back continually to our breath, gently, and slowing down that exhale. So now just practice just inhaling however you need to, in whatever timing, and then practicing the regulation of the exhale, just slowing it down. Feeling your energy sink down into your lower abdomen, down into the ground. And just continue this for a moment. Breathing in any which way, and then slowing down that exhale. And then we'll start to connect it with a movement. So breathing in, your arms start to move up in the timing of that inhale. If your inhale is faster, your arms will move faster up. And then breathing out, and letting your arms move down at the speed of your exhale. So we're just matching the rhythm of the breath with the rhythm of our movement. So just explore at your own pace, inhaling, regulating the exhale. And just continuing to notice, where is my mind going? There may be thoughts that come up. You may feel certain emotions. You may feel certain sensations. You may want to categorize all of those experiences as good and bad. But there is no good or bad. There is just your experience. So as your mind tries to understand, you can continue to support it, bringing it back to the present moment, affirming, I'm safe here. I'm safe now. We're building that strength to be here in the present moment. So continue to connect with your breathing, inhaling, arms come up, exhaling, regulating that exhale, slowing it down without force, and letting your arms sink down. And you can continue this for a period of 5 to 10 minutes, and then notice how you feel at the end. So the premise here that we've connected with today is, don't expect to regulate your nervous system if you don't have a regular breathing practice. So just imagine if you were to continue to connect with your body in this way on a daily basis. How might your nervous system continue to feel as you learn how to work with the emotions that can come up in any given day, the thoughts that can come up in any given day, and all of the sensations that can come up in any given day, and then continually being able to then anchor yourself back to your breath, back to one thing that you do have power over controlling. This can help you navigate all of the uncertainty that can come with life, where we can really anchor back into that present moment, make better decisions, and really move forward in alignment with our intent. Where is it that you want to go? So that's some of the bigger focal points of practicing this way, is the way we do one thing is the way we do all things. And when we develop our ability to focus on what's happening within the body in the present moment, then we can continue to apply that as we move through life. It's a very useful skill, I find.
The thing is, you just have to practice it with some humbleness and not expecting that this is the magic pill. It's really about connection and allowing the body to do its work. And maybe this is often the most challenging thing, when you're already dysregulated, to give the body and the nervous system the necessary space to regulate. But you can trust that the system knows how to regulate. This is what the body is doing all day long.
It's like compound interest. You know, we invest a little bit and it accumulates exponentially over time.